YouTube. And that's going there. Hey, everybody on Facebook. Good evening. Great to have you here. Go live, push that there, cancel this. And there we go. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Go live there. Goodness gracious, I'll figure this out. How's everybody doing tonight? Some of the conversations that we had this morning. There's Monique. Just had a conversation with her. Hello, young lady.
Oh.
So some things are changing out there, right? If you're paying attention to some of the news, some things are changing. Where's that at? Wait a second. Mute that. Hang on. There we go. Some things are changing out there rapidly. Hope you're getting prepared for some things that may be happening, and hope you've got some things you're taking care of. Hola, Erika. Hola, ¿cómo estás? I got a CEO of a company calling me right now. Hang on. Can't talk to you right now. Oh, there we go. What's happening? Today we had a conversation. Somebody, again, had an awakening of, what is it that's happening right now? What am I doing? What am I dealing with? What's the situations that I can handle? Because there are going to be some situations that show up here in the not too distant future that will be interesting. It's just inevitable. It's happening every place else, and it's going to happen here. So what do you do? How do you keep people calm? How do you keep yourself calm? And the challenge with that is the primordial, what's the primitive mindset kicks in. So what do we do when all of a sudden we start to lose control? Hey, Christina, how are you on Facebook? Good to see you, my love. Karen Miller's there. Erika, hola, mi amor. The question then becomes, what do you do to keep calm? The gentleman I was talking with earlier today, we were having a conversation, and he said, I just need to be in your energy orbit. And I'm like, yeah, the energy orbit is good. I appreciate that, you having that energy orbit and thinking that mine is good. The challenge is a lot of what's about to transpire is going to test what we do on an internal. So where's your internal source? What are the things that you're doing to build yourself up? What are you doing to deal with the newness that's coming? See, a lot of times we call new things that are new, we call them crazy because we don't understand them. The question is, what can you do to make things as normal as possible? Is there anything new? I mean, seriously, is there anything new? Everything is energy. It takes on a new shape. What it does is it may not fit into the pattern that we already know, right? The brain looks for two things. Will it kill me? Or how fast can I recognize the pattern? And if we don't recognize the pattern, what's the default then? We think it's going to kill us. And we do silly things, right? Anybody have bread in their store? Anybody have toilet paper in their store? Anybody got chopped meat in their store? Right? Kathy Loffman was on here the other day. She said, it's not that we've run out of stuff. It's just not where it's supposed to be right now. And that's this mentality. I saw somebody on Instagram. Anybody see the young girl who interviewed her dad about he did the toilet paper breakdown? Anybody see that one? It was quite funny, where he said if you use 20 sheets, 20 little squares per wipe, based upon the average roll at Costco and based upon people buying 2 rolls, 2 packs, 2 cases, you'd have to take about 19 poops a day to use up all of that toilet paper for a family of 4. So yeah, we get a little crazy. And you know what? Crazy's good. It shakes us up out of our norm. It shakes us up. It awakens us to potential. It awakens us to possibility. And it gets us clear. My bride and I have had some conversations about things we haven't had conversations about in a long time. Hey, Instagram, how are you, everybody? Good to have you here. Ibrahim, how are you? The question is, what are you doing? I'd love to hear what you're doing. Margie, you strike me as somebody who has lost their marbles from time to time over the years. In a good way. I love you in a good way. You've dealt with stress. You've had to do things where you weren't prepared for, some surgeries on hubby and stuff. What are you doing to help yourself? What are you doing to keep semi-sane, to keep sane?
First of all, I'm here,
I love you.
and I'm working real hard at just making sure we had the things that I know we would need in the next weeks, and being as normal as I can, keeping the same routines and helping people as much as I can.
And I think that part. So, we talk about longevity. Longevity. That's the name of a company. We talk about being young. We talk about being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that they talk about, I guess it is, what do you call that when it's the thing when you look for youth? What's the word I'm looking for? What are you saying, Leslie?
Longevity.
Longevity, that's it. So when we look for longevity, thank you.
Welcome.
The thing that we look at on genes, right? We try to come up with all of these things. There's things in your body called telomeres. And what they find is that aging in your body is based upon how long the telomeres are on the end of the genes, right? When the genes cross over like that. And these telomeres, every time the gene replicates, it slices off a little bit of the telomere. And so there's companies out there that have had nutritional products that were telomere rebuilders. And I don't know if any of those worked. They seem, maybe they had some other stuff that helped. But here's the thing they did find out. You can regrow your telomeres. You want to know why? You want me to let you in on a multi-billion-dollar secret? We regrow our telomeres when we are in service to another. That's it. That's how you regrow your telomeres. When your body is in a highest state of energy and it's in a highest state of, Jennifer Moran, hey, J-Mo. When your body is in this highest state of growth, of service, of love, of compassion, that's when you can regrow your telomeres. So there's going to be people who when the next time you see them, as this crisis begins to wane itself out, whenever that is, there's going to be people you will see that you will not recognize. For two reasons. One, they will have become younger. Two, they will have become older. You follow me? This idea that we have a chance to be able to help people feel better in this service. I don't know why I'm doing these calls. I'm doing them because I love my family. I love my friends. This is my way of staying sane, of being in service, of just sharing, of gathering a group of people together, looking at people on Facebook and on Instagram over here, and folks on Zoom. Monique, you've got kind of a crazy history of dealing with situations and challenges. What's some of the ways you've worked to keep yourself in this moment in time?
I used to, it's so funny that you say physically how you change, but when I used to be 400 pounds, I worried about everything all the time, except for myself. But I was like the biggest person in the room all the time. So as 7 years have gone by since I've weighed that much, but I have learned to just take one day at a time. And my grandmother used to tell me, just relax. She used to say, don't worry about it. Tomorrow will be tomorrow. Today's today. An hour from now, things will change. And she always had this really just relaxed attitude about it. And my grandmother had such a great life. Like even she's now passed, but even when she died, even her death was peaceful. Like you couldn't even ask for a better way to die. She went to sleep happy. She ate a great meal. She spent time with her friends, and she went to bed and didn't wake up. And that was it. It was so beautiful. And so I have learned to just relax about things And, you know, in regards to this particular situation that we're going through, I didn't do anything different. I didn't go out and shop crazy. In fact, it's quite interesting. About 2 months before all this happened, I just decided, because I'm always like trying to challenge myself and do something new. I just decided, you know what? I got to go through my pantry and my refrigerator and my toiletries, because I feel like I waste so much. You know, like you get down to like this much shampoo and then you go buy another one, or you get down to like, you know, 5 cans of corn instead of the usual 10 that you have because you got them at Costco, and you go buy 5 more. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. And so I literally, you know, I told my husband, I said, I am going to scrape the freezer and I'm going to scrape the pantry, and we're going to make meals with what we have and not waste. And then this situation came about, and I didn't do anything different. I said, I'm going to do the same shopping I normally do. I don't even plan my dinners. I cook based on what everybody's feeling, what looks good, what I grab in the refrigerator, and I cook every single meal from scratch. I don't cook anything from frozen. I don't cook anything from a warm up or anything like that. I cook everything from scratch. And then, you know, yesterday I thought, man, I have these 8 apples that are about to go to waste. What can I do? And I thought, the only thing I know what to do with apples is make a pie. And I hate pies, but why not make the pie? Why let the apples go to waste? So I made this pie, and it made everybody so happy. And I didn't waste the apples and the pie. I think there's maybe 1 piece left because my husband pretty much wanted it for breakfast. So I don't know. I mean, I've just learned to just relax. Like, you know, you just can't have everything under your control all the time, and everything can't be planned. And you miss so much when you do that, you know?
Well, and when we do that, compulsive thinking takes us out of the now. It fractions reality. When we get into thinking, if we start thinking, we get into fractured reality, and in a fractured reality, we can no longer make informed decisions. We can't take the right action. So we do need to be able to just take a breath, figure out in this moment, I choose joy or I choose misery. Because I can promise you, how many of us have ever heard when we were upset, somebody told us, just relax, right? Like you said, but nobody ever calmed down when they were mad from somebody saying, calm down. So all of the people that swing through my pages are incredible leaders. And I know that because I know you, I recognize the names. So I would encourage you, as you do this, find a way for your community to connect with you, whether it be messages, Instagram, whatever it is that you're doing, to find a way to make sure that your team knows you love them. And here's the big thing. Listen, ladies, I'm just going to throw a stab at this. It's going to be okay to receive. In this world where you've got to now do everything, you know, work twice as hard, do all of the things, do the work, come home, take care of the family, do all of this stuff. And when the stuff hits the fan, whether it be now or whenever it was, but when situations would show up in your family, you're usually the one that they come to ask for the calm, the sanity. Find a way to fill your cup up, whether that be attending some online prayer communities or just listening to music, or find a way to fill your cup up. Because what happens when we start to get a little panicky, when we start to lose our direction, right? We forget to use the wisdom we have, the experience that we've had for years and years and years. We forget to use that, and we become unwise. Find a way to fill your cup up. And this whole idea of being in service, I got to tell you, listen, I'm telling on myself. I'm probably not the only one, but here's what I do know. I've spoken to my neighbor behind me. I've spoken to my neighbor across the street. I've spoken to my neighbor one street over, and I talked to a neighbor up here at the end. How much you want to bet I hadn't talking to those people in 4 months? It is bringing us together. It is making us have more conversations. I've talked with Monique. Monique and I have talked more in the last 20 minutes than we have in 2 weeks. All of this to say, it's time to dust off your contact list. I talked to my buddy from high school. High school. Yeah, I didn't go to college. So that's when I talk about people who I went to school with, it was high school. And he's in Florida golfing, and I gave him some suggestions. I talked to him a little bit about some ideas to help you with respiratory, right? Make sure your respiratory is as strong as possible, because that's the concerns that people are having. That's what this condition causes, is respiratory challenges. I spoke to a dear friend of mine, a client of mine out in Las Cruces, New Mexico, who we've been friends for 6 years, and she's elderly, and she was talking to me, and I was giving her some suggestions of what she might be able to do. So all of these things, we're having these conversations and connections at a level that we haven't had in a while. At least I know I haven't had in a while. To stand out back, have a beer. He's standing in his driveway, right? There's the only road between us. I stand in my driveway, and we have a little beer, and we're talking about stuff. Hey, listen, you need anything? We got a generator if anything goes sideways, right? We are in Texas. I got ammo. I went to Academy Sports and the ammo aisle, and there was like 13 people in line getting guns. Yeehaw, baby. And all the ammo's gone. All the ammo, I don't even know what a 26 is. I have no idea what that is. And some of the bullets that were left, it's like all of the 22 long rifles were still there if anybody needs them. So my question to you is this: what can you do? What are some of your suggestions? If you're in Facebook, type them. I'm watching the scrolling going by. There's Brian Hester. Hey, brother. What are some of the things you're doing right now to keep your sanity?
Well, Sean, I'll tell you.
Go ahead, brother.
It just so happens that I was out wandering around the public today, just kind of checking out and seeing how things were going, including the ammunition aisle. But not for any reason. I was going to get some bear defense rounds for my pistols, because out at the ranch this time of year the grizzlies are down on the valley floor now, so they're wandering around, and I've had a bear wander in the arena before when I was working, and turned around and saw the happy critter.
Wow.
So I went looking for some bear defense rounds, and went into the ammunition aisles. Now up here, there's plenty of rifle ammunition left, 22, you name it, all the rifle stuff. But all the pistol stuff is gone. all the large caliber pistols. And so there's all these guys and women, by the way. If I was in East Texas, I'm sure I'd have seen Rhonda there. But they're all standing around just kind of looking at the aisles and, the shelves, thinking, oh, gosh, where's it at? So I just started inducing humor into the whole thing and just kind of laughing it off. And I'll tell you, that changed a lot of body language. All of a sudden it was from, what the heck's going on? And yada, 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 to, yeah, you're right. And then it turns out, going to the 3 different sporting goods stores we have up here, we were all following each other around. So it was just a light moment. They just kind of got over it and had some fun, a little sarcasm and poking fun at just about anything that wasn't moving or moving. That's how I dealt with it today.
Well, and humor is the key, right? My daddy always said, the one who controls the humor controls the room. And we were taught that because it was based on sales, right? If you can relax the customer and get them to just chill out just a little bit and laugh, a little bit of good humor, that's a good thing. I think right now, I bet if there was a way to track, and I'm sure Facebook can or YouTube can, was to see what videos are being watched. I bet there's a lot of funny videos. Mr. Bean is one of the ones that I know I love watching. Maybe some of the old Three Stooges or different things, but I bet there's going to be a lot of humor that's going to be needed.
The toilet paper memes are absolutely hilarious. If you kept a scrapbook of that, I tell you, you're going to be able to publish that in the future and make mega bucks on it.
Isn't it fun? I mean, yeah, some of that stuff will wind up in the Smithsonian. It's hysterical. And it's amazing what we can do. When we marshal the talent of our society, it's incredible some of the things that can be resolved, right? When we count on our neighbor and we count on our the person who's next to us, the person in our community, to help make things a little bit better. It's amazing what we can get done. So one of the things, I've had some people building the business, right? Getting some people getting started. And they're like, I had a gentleman who called me this afternoon. He said, we spoke recently and I'm ready to get started. I said, okay, I want to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. He says, well, here's the wrong reason would be, is for me to wait. My company just gave me a furlough, so now I have 360 degrees of opportunity. How do I get started? So there's a lot of people right now who in the next 20 days will be looking for something that they can have a little bit more control over. Right? There's so many things that people are losing control of. Not that they ever had control. That's the myth. Right? If you put your money into the stock market or 401k or different things like that, where you do not control the price of it, that's in somebody's hands. That's in somebody else's hands. Even if you stockpiled gold and silver in your own hands. Well, this arbitrage of that's happening between, I mean, I know some folks, I get to mentor a lot of folks who are in the trading business, and some of them are just absolutely crushing it right now. Now, they're also, because of the hypersensitivity of the market, they can also lose pretty big. So the swings, I think, are probably a little bit bigger. But there's people making millions and millions and millions of dollars right now. Wealth is just transferring. That's all it is. The money I had in my 401k and stock market and all of that other stuff that went down $8,000, $9,000, $15,000. I don't know. I stopped looking because I'm not worried about it. It'll either come back or it won't. But the point is that I have no control over that. Whatever up I took out of the market, congratulations. I'm a champion. I'm a winner. And whatever it took back, well, that's okay. That's part of the game you play. But right now, I would encourage you, what book are you going to read? What video are you going to watch that's going to help you keep your sanity? I had given away my book, Marcus Aurelius, The Meditation, and I just got a new one back in. So I'm going to be going through that again. Mason was reading it and he's like, man, this is good stuff. I'm like, I know. It's only 2,000-year-old conversations that he had. Yeah, it's good stuff. I think the conversations of the Stoics are going to become very important. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Socrates, and these conversations that they had 2,000 years ago are the same ones we're having now. What do I do? What can I do? What do I have control over? And what don't I have control over? See, that's where people start to lose a little bit of their sanity, is when they just try to control the things or have conversations or waste some of their precious energy talking about things they have no control over. They just don't. So here it is on a Friday evening. You guys show up here. Is there a question that's challenging you right now? Is there a situation dealing with a team, having conversations with folks? Is there a consistent objection? Hey, Lois, how are you in Canada? Canada in the house. Is there an objection that you're seeing constantly? Is there something that maybe this community could, what did I just do here? Hold on. Just turn my camera around. Is there something that you could do that would change the way you look at things? I have no idea what's going on here. You all want to look at the screen? So there you go. I don't know. My camera turned around. Anybody know how to turn your camera back around? No.
What platform are you on? Are you on Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
It might be on the
Oh,
bottom.
there it is. There it is. It's on the top. I got it. There you go. Hey, everybody. We're back. Thanks, Monique. Monique taught me how to do that.
Hey, Sean. So something interesting that keeps showing up for me is one, so totally grateful that you popped into my life a year and a half or so ago, because I feel that through all the mayhem that's going, and it's hitting my industry pretty hard, I I'm so much better prepared than most to stay positive and up through all of this. I'm just coming at it from a place of love, and I figure this is just the best opportunity each and every day to show up as my best self and just love on people. And that's making a difference in some of their lives, just because I'm not chasing them. I'm just putting out something positive, talking about what I'm doing in my day. And it's lifting some hearts. And that's I think the thing that all of us should try to do.
Well, and I think that's going to be paramount as we go through the days, because when all of the dust settles, and it may never settle, but it'll get a little bit clearer.
It'll be different for sure.
It'll be way different. And what people believe they can go back to will not even exist anymore.
I think we're rebalancing.
I think it's a huge rebalance. I think it's a huge rebalance, reorganization. I think it's a chance for humanity to start to become human again. I think it's
lessons from the past.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know that there's people are funny how we haven't heard about road rage recently, and maybe they're still out there.
That's because there's nobody out there.
Exactly. So this whole thing where we couldn't do anything and we can't go anywhere, and I hate traffic, and now there's no traffic, and now all we're doing is repositioning the pain. So how do we eventually get rid of the pain? How do we eventually let it burn itself out? What is the thing that's going to cause this pain, this redirection of right versus wrong? How is that going to change? Well,
it's doing it already. It's writing itself.
It is. I mean, you look at the way, I hope we heal as human beings as fast as we see the earth showing its healing, right? Dolphins and fish in the canals in Venice. I mean, I don't know about you, but I never thought about dolphins and fish in the canals in Venice. I thought some of the canals were much deeper than they looked.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The air, the pollution over China's gone. All of this stuff. And this happens because it's like when we take an aspirin and we feel a little bit better, we're not quite sure how the aspirin works, but we know that we feel better. So this whole thing, this COVID-19, whatever the name is, whatever this whole thing is going to be called, this moment in history, what's it doing for you? Because it's either going to do, it's the same thing I say about our profession, network marketing. I love what it can do for people. I get frustrated what it does to people. So right now, what is this doing to you, or what is it doing for you? Is it requiring you to stand up, step up, be a little bit stronger, be a little bit more outgoing, a little bit more conversations? Because there is a change that's already happened. There ain't no way, none of us are stopping it. This is global. And there's going to be some people hurt. There's going to be some people healed, and there's going to be some people wondering what the hell just happened. And they're going to need somebody like you, just like you, the one that's watching this, to say, I can help you. I can wrap my arms around you. I can give you something just some love. I can give you some confidence. I can be there for you. I think there's going to be some new sages that come out of this conversation, that come out of this moment in time, that will be people of tremendous influence. Somebody that comes to mind right away, Real Talk Kim. I think there's going to be a huge surgence that will begin to move into her realm and to follow her. TD Jakes, I was listening to him the other day, and they did a screenshot. They did a panorama shot from the back of that church. There were 7 people in the church. Are you kidding me?
Sean Murphy is going to get added to that. Rhonda Parker's going to get added to that. It's going to be a follow.
Come on, girl.
Yep. It's happening.
Look,
I'm watching it.
There's some neat things that are happening. And what's neat is that the reticular activating system, if you're really looking for it, the things that you're looking for are all around us. And the things where we never looked before, like I said, today, within the last 3 hours, I talked to my neighbor in the back, Cody. I talked to Kelly over there. I talked to Killington's up at the hill up here. We've waved at each other. We know each other. Cody backs in my driveway every time he backs out. But now all of a sudden it was like, hey, slow down, hook up, say hey. Laura, you got your hand up, Laura Mendez. Let's go to Laura on line 2.
How are you, Sean?
Good, my love. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm over here trying to process everything that you're saying. And today, I was, I guess, like aware of a moment, and it just felt good to feel that way. So I'm gonna try. No, I hate that word. Well, I dislike that word.
I
I'm
love
going
you.
to, I don't use that word. I'm going to look
Colin DeBray,
to
baby.
experience moments like that more often, because I was at work today, and I was my manager, she watches the news all the time, which I don't particularly enjoy, especially right now, but anyway, I was working, and I was just like so into my work and what I was doing, and I just was not thinking about what's going on, and I was just like really trying to figure out what I was doing at work, and I was like enjoying what I was doing, but I wasn't thinking about the situation, right?
Right.
And so, but I didn't know that I wasn't thinking about it until I started to think about it, because I went into her office and I watched the news. And so then I all of a sudden like felt, everything in my chest, and I was just like really anxious and everything. And I was like, whoa, like I wasn't feeling that way like 10 minutes ago. And that felt good. So, and I was aware that it felt good to feel fine, to choose to feel fine, to choose to be joyful, to enjoy what I was doing, even though we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, So I'm just kind of, as you were talking, I was thinking about that moment, and I was like, I get to choose that. I get to choose that even, through everything that's going on. So I've been feeling really like anxious, I'm not gonna lie, lately. So it's been kind of hard just to kind of like process, because I'm like thinking like, okay, what can I do, especially because I do trade, so it's been great and all, but at the same time there's like a lot of analysis that you have to do, and you have to study and whatnot, so it's been kind of crazy. So anyway, but so that was the first thing that I wanted to share. And then the second thing is that I wanted to ask you a question. You said that, with the guy that called you today to get started, you asked them, okay, I want to make sure that you're not doing it for the wrong reasons, right? So I guess my question would be, what would be the wrong reason, and how would you have handled the situation, if you don't mind
Well,
sharing?
so the challenge is a lot of times people want to do things for the right reasons, but they use the wrong motivation. And if the wrong motivation gets used, when the right reason shows up, the result is poor, because that's not what they were looking for. So it's only to get them clear, only to get them into the moment, to have a conversation, to make sure they know the decision they're making is their decision, not mine. A lot of times people, we as leaders, we as people of entrepreneurial spirit, a lot of times somebody they'll bring us their issues, but they'll ask us to make their house. They'll bring us all of the materials to build their house, but I can't build your house. I will help you build your business. Many people say that phrase, I will help you build your business. That's where we get stuck. That's where we get lost. And when somebody comes to you in this time, if somebody's reaching out to you, a lot of times we're going to prospect and have conversations with people because they don't even know, a lot of people don't even know what business we're in. And so when we go to have a conversation with them, asking them, your plan B, what are you doing to deal with situations? What's going to happen? Hey, Taylor Worry, how are you? What are you going to be doing when things come back? What's your plan to not wind up in this situation where you're at right now, where you got to hang on to every penny, every breath, every grocery? You're eating stuff that you're eating ramen noodles that you found in the back of your cupboard from 2 years ago. I get it. But when somebody says to me, "Hey, I'm doing this." Why? What do you mean why? Wouldn't you be happy I get started? Yeah, but I want to make sure you finish. Anyone can start. Can you finish? Because if they happen to be quite successful in what they do, and as the economy comes back and as things come back, they decide to go, glad I don't have to do that shit anymore, that stuff anymore, then the reality comes is that this is just it was a plan X. It was a get by. Well, can you imagine in our profession, if you enroll somebody who's trying to get by, do you imagine how many people are going to get smacked upside the head and are going to be taken advantage of because of poor timing that's happening right now for everybody? MLM stands for Me Loving More. Mentors leading mentors, making lasting memories. I don't know what it stands for anybody else, but there will be people who need you right now. There's people who are praying for you right now in this moment. They're praying for their health. They're praying for their wealth. If you've got products right now that do some amazing things with the respiratory, it doesn't matter what company you're with. If you're not using a product that helps with respiratory situations, you need to find somebody that can do that, because there is nothing you can do for your immune system with this. You can boost your immune system, but taking a probiotic in the gut isn't really going to help you as much, because this is all in the throat and in the lungs. Do you have anything that'll help people breathe easier? Simple things like that you got to be aware of. And if you don't have something, you better find somebody that understands that and ask them. I know that because I do that. That's all I've been doing all day long, is helping people breathe better, both from a mental standpoint, both from a physical standpoint. I have a company that I represent that I can help people breathe better, ensure they're doing their best to amp up their respiratory system. I'm not making any medical claims. So when the urgency is there, make sure you're dealing with the situation that's most important to them. Yeah, there's long term. We need to help people get some long-term vision. Because this paycheck to paycheck, I read somewhere before this all started, Career Builder, no, what's one of the, like Monster.com. They said the average American, 78% of the Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 78%? So what can we do to give them, all we're looking to do right now, all I would encourage you to do right now is when you have conversations with people, find out if you can help them build a little margin. Can you help them create a little bit of margin? And when they understand that they don't have any margin, things get real tight. But if you can help them build some margin in their life, in the 6 areas of life, family, finance, society, body, mind, and spiritual, people are running out of margin right now. That rope, the knot on the end of the rope is getting to be their last thing they get to hang on to. And it hadn't even started yet, folks. Some of the challenges. So when you ask me, Laura, I want to make sure they're doing it for the right reason, because it's not fair to them to take a penny of them, to take 1 penny from them, if they're not going to be able to withstand the necessary conversations that are about to ensue. Can they learn how to love people in the moment where they're at? And if they can't do that, don't start with me. Don't start here. Does that make sense? Because otherwise, you know this, if you're stressed, you'll make a bad trade and you'll go, damn it, I knew I shouldn't have done that. Because you're just not connected. Mm-hmm. The challenge is right now we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to be able to we are in a situation, a moment in history where if we follow our gut, we follow our instincts. Ladies, you follow that little voice inside your head next to your heart. You follow that little voice, you will fine tune this ability to instantly, that discernment, look at that, I used a big word, that discernment that you have, you can allow this moment in time to put it in the oven and bake off all of the doubt. But that discernment you have, I was talking with somebody today who's a trader, and they said, I was told to go do this, and I knew it was wrong, and I did it anyway because they were a leader. I'm like, how'd that work out for you? It didn't. I'm like, but you knew better. I knew better. Why? Just like if you're going to go do arm curls, I don't know, is that even how you do a curl? You can tell how long it's been since I've been to it. You can sharpen this muscle of discernment. When you sharpen this muscle of discernment, when you start to, just the little things, you turn on the news and you know that was going to happen, or you you get an email and all of a sudden that was going to happen. You're looking for something of joy and a friend calls you out of the blue. This level of discernment, we are in a hyper state of discernment. And when Dana said he walked into the sporting goods stores and gave a little bit of laughter, man, they ate it up. They ate it up like it was hotcakes, and I don't know what goes with hotcakes. I know down south we have something called hominy and grits. Catfish, hominy, and grits. It went like fast. It went like hotcakes. Why? Because people are going to eat up laughter. Can you be this voice of reason in the storm? And sometimes the voice of reason that only people need to hear is, hey, I love you. I want you. Facebook, Instagram over here, y'all on Zoom. I love y'all. How can you say that? That's weird that you say that. No, it's not. It's weird that you don't hear it. That's how I hear it. It's weird you don't hear me. But if I say it enough over and over and over and over and over, eventually when I say I love you, y'all go, I love you too. And you're like, did I just say that to him? Kayla, can you chat? Are you in a good reception area? You don't have to come live on the camera, but I just want to hear your voice. She may not be. She may probably is doing another.
My voice?
Yes, I want to hear your voice. So Kayla, you're in Panama now, right? I mean, you're home and you're still in Panama. Yes, you haven't traveled anywhere.
Yes, I'm at home. Hey, Rhonda. Bessie.
Love you, Kayla.
Switch your arrow.
So Kayla is somebody who I absolutely love and adore, and she's been constantly since I left Costa Rica, and she went home on Monday as well, or Sunday even, but just talking to people. Kayla, what are you hearing, right, in Panama? Just what are you hearing from your team? What are you hearing from people you're having conversations with? You're doing trainings every single day. What are you hearing from folks?
Yeah, well, it's like now everybody, given that for a year and 10 months, I've been posting, every now and then, because now it's every day, but for a year and 10 months, every now and then I post like, you can do it from home, you can do it from home, you can do it from home, right? Given that I've been doing that, now everybody in the team is like, gosh, Kayla, you knew that this was coming, stuff like that, right? And now it's like, I realize now that this is here, that all this thing is happening and everybody is at home. It's like, for some reason, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of telling people what I do from home. And it's funny because I asked myself, why for a year and 10 months, I've been like every now and then, and why now is like, I just do it. And I'm not even scared. It's like today I post a picture that I was in the kitchen working and like real cool. And before I never do something like that. And people is like, what I'm hearing from the team and what I'm hearing from all my friends and everybody is like, they always wanted to listen what I do, and I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I was so scared and shy, like to let people. I always think, for people instead of not thinking. I mean, just saying it. And people is like right now is like, I don't know. Today they call me from the company and they say, Kayla, why we not here in Panama like they scared or anything like that, talking about the team, right? And I said, I don't know, maybe because I'm giving them that peace in mind. I don't know. I'm just showing them that life been like this for a while now. It's just that nobody talk about it, in the team, because I tell them we've been doing this for a year and 10 months now. It's just that we don't talk about it. So people is like they feeling like real good about it, you know.
Well, there's a
And
level of confidence that when somebody says, well, that's what I need in the urgency, in the emergency, I got to find a solution, and they'll grab onto anything, right? But when they find you and they see so how long have you been doing it? That's the first question. You're not going to get asked, how much does it cost? How much is it this? They're going to go, how long have you been doing it? Right? Remember all of the objections that we would hear in the past? How
yes,
much have you made? Now they're going to say, listen, if you're doing it, I want to know how long you've been doing it so I don't go with a newbie.
yeah, it's been like real. I mean, to me, it's been like a lot of questions these days. This like 3 past day. To me, I'm asking myself a lot of questions like, why I never say this before, why I never took pictures like this, why I was so scared. Like today, I post something. I say like, a year and a half ago, I had nothing, and I just received an opportunity to do this and this. I started to do something, and a month later, I did this and this. And I said, what, I didn't do that before? And I'm really asking myself those questions like how things sometimes have to happen so you realize how easy it is. And I mean, that's all I'm hearing. I'm hearing that everybody want an opportunity. I mean, it's just us that we don't talk about it. We scare about. We always been scared. I mean, I'm always been scared. I don't know about the others, but I'm always been scared of really show out there who I am. That's what I'm realizing, and that's what I'm hearing all these days. I kind of been scary of showing actually who I am. And now that all these things happening, is like, I'm not scared anymore. It's like, hey, this is me and this is what I've been doing. And I just want to show you how to do it because it worked for me. And it's so simple. And I don't know why I didn't do it before. And
Well,
those are the things that I'm hearing, like I'm hearing those things in my mind.
and I'm looking at the numbers just from Monday to today, the trend that's happening. So yesterday, Thursday, enrollments were up 25%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And why? Yes. Are people scared? Yes, people are scared. But what they need somebody that's going to give them the stability, the confidence, and understand the capability with which somebody needs to move forward. That's the
Mm-hmm.
reality. And
Yeah.
when you can stand in a calm place, and this is for all of us, when you can stand in a calm place and say, this is what we do, here's next step. Yeah, but what about that? Nobody's going to have any money. People are still going to want these products. People are still going to want to be a part of a community. And if you can show them a way to create a return on investment, because here's the neat thing, us being one of those things ain't an excuse anymore. Is this one of those things? You're damn right it's one of those things. How's your job going? I know we'd want to say that, but we can't, right? But I know
Yeah.
I know I would sure like to say that to some folks.
Yes, I know.
So,
but it's true. I mean, it's like we're not scared anymore saying, yes, this is what I do and this is what I've been doing. And yeah, and even about like in my case, in my case that I have, health products and all that stuff. And even myself is like before I was so scared, like to talk about them. I don't know why. I mean, that's what I've been asking myself this week. Why I've been so scared of talk about it. And now, well, I know why now I'm not, but I mean, I know what I'm not scared now, but the question is why I was so like scared to show out there what I do and what I do it and what I have on my hand. Why? I'm even talking about other things that I never thought that I would ever talk about, you know? And now here I am like, and I have this too, and I have this too, and this too. And I'm like, and now it's like I'm so I feel so safe. I don't know if that's the word, but like comfort, saying like, and you can get this and this and this and this. And before it's like, I not even want to say that you can get one, not even one. And now it's like, there is no, it's like everybody worry about money. And I'm like, yes, I'm worried too, but you can get this and this and this and this. And I'm like, what? I mean, how? I mean, I don't know if I still the same Kayla like last week. I don't know, but what I didn't do it last week, what I didn't do it before, and what I'm doing.
You're not. And I would encourage you to ask, what was the shift? Because there was a shift that happened. There was a switch that flipped. And that switch that flipped could have been the ride home, could have been an aha, could have been us in the car together. There was somewhere where you flipped your switch, some kind of outside stimuli, because all of a sudden this level of confidence that you had. So what story did you give up? That's the question, because you are a new Kayla. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, I looks like I am a new one, but I'm like, am I? I mean, I feel like it, but like just these days, like something happened, but I guess it was just the coronavirus. I thought that was just that. I never thought it was something else. But now that you mention it, yeah, maybe, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You got me thinking now.
I'm good at that.
I
Because
know.
because when you recognize that, because here's what people are going to say, and this is for anybody listening to this. People are going to say, something's changed about you. What did you do? You're going to be enrolling people. People are going to be joining you in the business. Oh, how are you doing that? And here's the things. Nothing in your language has changed. Same products, same comp plan, same everything, same Panama, coronavirus, yes, COVID-19, all of that, that's different, but you're still using the same language. What has changed is the essence. You have changed from an American coffee to a Colombian coffee, a Costa Rican coffee, a Panamanian coffee. And in that concentration, there's nothing we need other than just you. This level of confidence that this moment in time for all of us, this moment in time is going to build you a new castle like you've never seen, or it's going to take you the other way. The fear and doubt that you used to have is going away. You got to take care of the family. You got to take care of this. Something, the switch that's going to happen is the level of, and here's the hard part. Here's the hard part that's going to be hard for people to hear. The switch that's happening right now is the level of love you have for yourself. That's it. You can tell me you read a book. I'm going to say, well, you love yourself more. You can tell me you attended a seminar. I love myself more. Oh, we got a new product. I got a new product, helps me sleep better at night. You love yourself more. This transition that's taking place right now is putting people in a state to where it's okay to love themselves more. And if that's the case, guess who else we're going to start loving? Everyone around us. Anybody else feel that way? Anybody else hear that conversation? Because that's big. That's big. When somebody with Kayla's pedigree, her capacity, her capability, her leadership has a transition in 3 days, it ain't no COVID-19. It's a decision. It's a decision that was long in the coming, that was long in the making, that finally reached a tipping point of enough is enough. This is my time. This is my day. I make a choice. I choose today. I remember you saying something on stage in Costa Rica about in your name. You were saying your name differently.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
For many years now, I refuse to use my father's name because I always say Keila Cortez, right?
Right?
And on the stage for the first time, I said loud, and to everybody, my name is Keila Valdez Cortez, right? I use my father's name. And I realized that I thought, I didn't know this, but for all these years, I thought that I got over, and I did got over many things, but I thought, no more, no more. And me refusing using his last name, I realized that it was still something there that didn't let me keep going. And that stopped me. And, and then when I said on this stage, I said, so here is my name. And, because now it's like, I realize that even though it will sound like for some people, it will sound to me, I understood that this is who I am right now, thanks to everything that happened in my life. If I wouldn't go through all that stuff in my life, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be helping so much people. So Valdez is part of my name, and this is who I am. And I never were able to use my father's name because I feel so much anger, sadness, and all kind of bad feelings inside me when I said that name. And it's kind of like a transformation now that you mention it,
Well, I was hoping you were going to get it, because why would I bring that up? Because that's the transformation. There's nothing else to fear.
Yeah. So
That was
it's
it.
like,
Adding that in, that was your switch. That was the change.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense now. I mean, because I even thought about it, but that right there when I said it, it was the first time I actually say it loud.
Well,
And
I heard you, and that's why, because I got 80% of what you were saying, but that stuck out to me when you said, and I heard people clap.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, that was a moment right there. That sent chills in my body. And so when you're talking about what's this transition, all of a sudden I'm fearless. Oh yeah, I get. But you could do this and that, because it was you releasing that. It was you forgiving you for not having that.
Mm-hmm.
Now you didn't. You don't have to forgive yourself for any conversation you have with people, because you promised to do no harm.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Wow.
I mean, you got me thinking. Yes, because I thought everything that happened to me, all this, since I came back, I thought that the name was coronavirus, but I guess not. Because I say, gosh, I'm so scared of this virus. I can't believe it that I'm doing this. But now I realize it's not that. I mean,
nope. It was that name. It was that name on stage.
Yeah, and it's true. I mean, I felt so different after that. I mean, even the way I say everything in stage was totally different from the other times,
Yep. No, I noticed it.
I even feel more taller now.
You are taller. You are taller.
I feel like I'm like I got like 5 inches tall now. Like you know, like, I don't know, but I feel that way. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that means something, but I feel like I can walk more straight and stuff like that. I mean, that's the only way I can express it, you know.
But these emotional feelings we have are always tied to something as simple as, I never used the name because I wasn't going to give them satisfaction, but look who was drinking the poison.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad you jumped on this call. You're like, why did I jump on this?
No,
No, I know. I love you. You know that. I'm so proud of you because there's a trigger for you. Huh.
Yeah, it is. No, I'm glad I jumped in here because I didn't realize that. I knew something was going on with me,
Right.
but I knew and I feel it. And a lot of people even write to me and say things, and but inside me, I was like, I feel different. I know, but I didn't know what it was. I said, what it is. But all I said was coronavirus. That's all I keep repeating, you know.
But
But
now
I'm
we
glad
know the
jumping
rest
in.
of the story.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I love you.
I love you too, Kayla. Thank you for being there. Wow. Pretty cool. Funny how a name, just saying it, changes everything. So I'll go back to what RBP talks about, Rhonda Bird Parker talks about, asking bigger. Right now we have a tremendous opportunity. I think the hotline to your source is wide open, whoever you choose that to be. I know I've asked God for a few things and I'm asking bigger and I'm asking bigger and I'm going, is that too big? And I'm going, well, wait a minute. It ain't big enough. If it doesn't scare you to ask, because then you got to figure out, can you do what you're asking for? And if you can, it should push you. It could challenge you. It should challenge you. So there you go. Any last thoughts or comments before we wrap up this evening? I appreciate y'all spending a Friday. Tomorrow, if you'd like to be, right, we do the 8:30 Central Standard Time. We're going to do that as well. Anyone have a question or a comment or a thought before we wrap up? I see some fun names on here. Our morning call misfits. Hello, Shay Marie. Well, there you go. All right, folks. Well, I appreciate you. Thanks for spending your Friday with me. I hope this brought you some value and some ideas and some concepts. You make my world a better place. And in this moment in time, I'm so grateful for that. I appreciate. Oh, wait a minute. Angie's got a hand up. Angie, hello, Angie.
Hey, Sean.
Hello, Queen of Wonderland.
Hi. I have a question, and I would love to hear your opinion on it. So I was watching these videos from different individuals that are in different professions, like this famous chess player, this famous violinist, this scientist that talks about the universe. And the violinist asked, is there a difference between being intense and being passionate? So I would love to hear your answer, because this question made me think a lot. So I'd love to hear what you think about that question.
So is there a difference between being intense and being passionate?
Yes.
So Angie, I have this amazing soul who I absolutely love to death. They asked me a question the other day. And the question I thought was quite provoking. And here's the question. They asked me, how would you describe intensity? They said, Sean, you know Angie. Ask her how she would describe intensity. So what's your answer for intensity? What does that mean to you?
Okay, so I was thinking it in two different perspectives, because I played the violin, so I know, because it came from a violinist, so I know I was looking at a perspective of music and the sound and what intensity means as an instrument player. Then I thought about it as in a business perspective.
Okay.
So I guess I have two different meanings for the word.
For intensity?
Yes. Yes.
Can there be two different meanings?
depend there? I think so.
Okay. So then are we looking for a universal answer, or are we looking for a convenient answer?
Like from you?
No, from I'm asking you. You're going to give me two answers. Now, and because do we take something and make it conveniently work over here and conveniently work over there? Or is there a higher understanding of it that it means the same thing no matter who uses it?
Oh, okay. I think there's like an understanding, but we could all get to it in different perspectives.
Sure, but we're all going to wind up at that source. So what's the source of intensity? For
I
you.
think it's your passion. Like the more passion you have, the more intense you create momentum, the more intense.
So
you
how
create-
good are you at playing violin?
I started playing it when I was in the 3rd grade all the way till like my freshman year of college.
Okay, so you can pick up a violin and you can make it sing.
I would hope.
Okay. I could pick up a violin and make it make noise. What's the difference? I can play the strings harder than you can. I got bigger muscles than you can. I can be intense.
Mm-hmm.
So intensity and passion are not the same thing. How many of us have ever picked up an instrument, had to play it because our mom said, you're going to play an instrument, and there was no passion behind it, but we played it perfectly. You know this. So here's this. How many times, Angie, speak to me about this. Have you heard somebody speak English to you and you knew they learned it in school?
A lot.
Pero cuando yo hablo con usted, yo no aprendo nada en la escuela.
Okay, so verdad.
Right? So cuando yo hablo, posible mi palabra no está correcto, pero ella habla de mismo de un puertorriqueño. Él tiene el acento, él tiene ese, él tiene los refranes, él tiene los RRs, rápido los carros por el fierro carril. I mean, when I speak like I was taught by somebody who speaks Spanish. I didn't learn it in school. You can tell that.
Mm-hmm.
I know, tú hablas muy bien, qué bueno, ay, qué chévere. But you suck at grammar. No, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So my passion is to speak the language. My intensity, you guys, it comes across because I ain't saying one damn thing right. But you can hear my passion in my voice.
Mm-hmm.
So when I hear intensity versus passion, intensity is strength. Passion is love that will knock you over with a kiss. So you can be intense. There's a lot of, listen, in your company, in your company structure, there's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And they're intense. And we confuse, and they fib to us. They tell us a story. I'm passionate about this. No, you're just intense. Because if you were passionate, I would love doing what you do.
Oh, okay.
Follow me?
I hear you. Yes.
If you're stressed trying to figure out a trade you're about to make, that ain't passion. That's intensity.
Okay.
But if you can stay up for 24 hours working the arbitrage on all of the different markets and different trades and different that's because this market opens, and that's intensity. Passion is being able to explain it to somebody so they're excited to do it.
Got it.
Do you have a little baby? No? Yes?
No, my little brother has a baby.
Your little brother has a baby. That's right. So he's got a baby. So is there intensity when we try to discipline him? But if we just disciplined with intensity, we'd be spanking the butts off of kids.
Mm-hmm.
But we can discipline with passion.
Yes.
When you are in class and you're studying and somebody asks you a question and you know they don't know up from down, you can be intense and tell them, no, you're an idiot. You should check out now.
Yeah.
right? Or you can say, you know, that's a great question. You can be intense to get, because you don't have time. You want to get them. Here's what you do. You go to this place, this place, this place, go get that information, review those notes. Here's a copy of my notes. When you get done with that, call me back. That's passion.
Okay. I got it now.
Does that help?
A lot. It helps a lot. But there was like so much more that like they was talking about, and I just wanted to pick your brain on it.
Well,
And
again,
everybody else too, if they have any input on it.
yeah, and I'd love some feedback as well. The key is that when we talk about intensity and passion, they're two sides of the same coin, but they're two sides.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who are wildly intense, and you just do not want to be around them. They lose their stuff. You make me lose my marbles, right? But there's people who are passionate that they start foundations and they raise millions of dollars.
Yes.
Great
Okay.
question. Great question.
Thank
Now,
you.
now, go ahead. Is there another one?
Yeah, I have something else.
Okay, good. I love you.
I love you too. So, I got this from Neil deGrasse Tyson, the famous philosopher. Yeah. So
Well,
he was
philosopher and physicist. Yes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So he was talking about being the proper perspective. I don't know if I said that word right. Skeptic. Yes, that. Being the proper skeptic. And he said, question what they are unsure of, but recognize valid evidence being presented to change their mind.
Yep.
And that sentence right there blew my mind, because I was like, wait. I related it to my business, and I was like, it's so simple. Like, wow. That was just huge right there. So I was like, wow, that was.
So the key is that if somebody's sure and the slightest new bit of information changes their sureness,
Mm-hmm.
so you need to be a skeptic.
Yes.
It's critical you be a skeptic, which comes back to what Joe Dispenza says, right? And we've said it a couple of times. You're only suggestible to the information equal to the emotions you're experiencing.
Wow.
So you're only suggestible. See, I could only suggest. So you asked me a question, and I knew the way I answered that question to you was based on how you asked me the question.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to know based upon intensity and passion. Aren't they the same thing? Isn't that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you know they're not the same thing.
No, they're
So
not.
if I answered you and said they're not the same thing, you were only suggestible. I could only suggest information based upon the experience you were currently feeling. And the feeling you were having is that they're the same. So I asked you the question, tell me what intensity means. And we went down that path. So now I allowed you to be suggestible to the new idea, to the difference between spanking somebody and knocking them over with a kiss.
Yes. Wow. Oh, I love learning, man. I love it.
You're so
But-
awesome.
And then one last thing, I promise
Sure.
I'll be done. This famous chess player called Garry Kasparov. I don't know if I'm saying his name
Russian.
right.
Yep.
Yeah. And he said, the greatest danger gravitated of your past success. I don't know if he said gravitated or gravitated. The greatest danger gravitated of your past success. I think it's gravitated, but that alone, I wanted to ask you, what do you think about that? Because I feel
So-
like we all measure success in different ways, right? I got that.
Absolutely. But where does success lie?
I feel, for me, so far, what I've learned so far in this business, I feel like we count more of our success than we do our mistakes, right? So I feel like we say success is, oh, I just made $5,000, or I signed up this amount of people in one day, or things that are very boostful, right? That's amazing, but I feel like some of us categorize success on having things like that, or I just bought a big mansion, things like that. That's how I see it.
Right. So
But
what
I
is
feel,
so what is success?
to me, success is helping somebody else, like not just like financially, but we all have stones that we carry, right? And you
Mhm.
said stones can break. I think you said that. I wasn't sure. I feel like we always need somebody else to just help us get out of that, carry that stone or just throw it aside, right? So I feel like success is that to me, like just helping somebody else come to life.
So if success is helping somebody else,
Uh-huh.
when's the last moment you were successful?
I think the last moment I was successful would be that day I don't know if it was the day when I had Wonderland with the little girl or recent where I'm actually starting to make breakthroughs because I'm starting to appreciate me more, love me more.
So then here's the question.
Mhm.
If success was Wonderland or sometime between now and Wonderland,
Mhm.
at what moment do you want to be successful?
At
You get,
what moment
yeah,
would
at
I
what
want
moment do you
to
want to be successful? I'll give you a hint. The first letter starts with an N.
never?
How about O?
Now.
W.
Now.
So if your definition of success is helping people, when did you just recently help somebody?
Today.
How about now? Being on this call, being vulnerable, having this dialogue with me. Do you believe that your dialogue with me is helping me?
I would hope so because I hope you're learning something too.
So if it's helping me, so I'll ask the question again. When's the last time you were successful?
Now.
See,
Oh, wow. Increíble.
so if now is always the time you have success, does it matter what other people's facts they pour into you? A new house, $5,000, sponsored 10 people. Those are facts. That's not success. Those are facts.
Yes. Oh, wow. Yes. I'm gonna write that down.
And even if they call it success, Epictetus said, determine what's within your circle of influence and determines what's outside your circle of influence. Can you change anything in your life because they sponsored 10 people?
Me?
Yeah.
Can
You
I
could
change some?
Yeah, you could learn what they did, but them sponsoring 10 people, does that change your life?
No.
Then that's not success. That's facts.
Okay. I got it. All right.
You take a test in nursing and you pass it. Does that mean I passed it?
You?
Yeah.
I feel yes because we have a relationship. So me telling you I gotta win, you'd be like, yay.
We got to win together, but I didn't take the test. So I can't pass the test. I can enjoy the win. I can enjoy the fact that you passed the test. That's not success to me. Helping you study for the test, helping you have a better mindset for the test. Yeah, I can say I helped you win at that test, but I did not take the test. My success had nothing to do with the test. My success had to do with everything other than the test for you.
Yes.
So if we really understand the words we start to use and how we define the things we're defining and talking about, we'll realize it's like when these people run around saying, I'm a mentor. Really? Can you spell mentor?
It's really amazing that you bring that up because I had a conversation earlier with one of my good friends, also business partner, Emily, and we were talking about the power of a vocabulary in our words, and we both decided, and in my mind, I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm learning English all over again. It's like, I'm like, wow, I'm really learning English all over again. So we were talking, I told her I'm like, come every Sunday, we pick one word we want to learn and use it in a way that's in a powerful manner where it's speaking into life into others. So every week, every Sunday, we're going to pick one new word to learn and put it in sentences and use it through the whole week to just improve our vocabulary and our use of words and how to change. Instead of saying, oh, that's crazy, you know, like how people used to slang, oh, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, let's reverse that to, no, that's amazing. Like, because one word can hold so much power, right? So that's why it's just amazing that you brought that up, because it's like confirmation, like, wow, like, I feel like I'm the frequency I'm supposed to be on, and it makes me so happy.
And you deserve that happiness. That is passion. That's not intensity.
Yes.
Picking the word, studying it, using it, that's intensity. The happy feeling you're getting, that's passion.
I'm excited because I feel like I'm learning again a new
Yay!
language.
The power of words.
But yes, thank you, Sean. That's all.
Thank you, my love. I'm proud of you. I appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate you too.
Anyone else before we wrap up for this Friday evening? RBP may be unloading a truck or skinning something. Who knows what she's doing?
No, I'm not. We were playing a mean game of Uno Attack.
Oh,
So I'm just listening, playing
Okay.
Uno Attack, trying not to get all the cards.
well, there you go. Anyone else? Any last questions or comments before we wrap up for this evening? Tomorrow morning, 8:30 Central Standard Time. We'll be back here and having some fun doing the Daily Awakening call. If these are valuable, let me know. I mean, I enjoy them, but I know some of you will show up because it's like, man, okay, I want to be a good student. I want to be a good, right? And I appreciate you. Okay, good. Well, there you go, folks. I appreciate y'all. Be safe. Keep your social distance, but keep your social connection, and have some fun. Laugh a little bit. Go laugh a little bit. The world needs you to laugh a little bit. I appreciate you tons. I'm Sean Murphy, founder of Mental Profits, and I'll see y'all where? At the next event. Y'all say love each other, dude, if you like, if you choose to. Bye, everybody.
Love y'all.
Good night,
Love you
everybody.
all.
Love you.
See y'all in the morning.